What is fantasy football?
Explain fantasy football?
Guys in their early 20s to late 30s who have nothing better to do.
Fantasy football is
It's a fun game to play where you get to be a manager, coach, owner.
It's fun because you can pretend like you're a manager of some sorts. You know, managing a team. You know, trades and free agency. That's the best part about it.
like gambling, but there's not as much money at risk. it's that's what it is to me.
I guess to compete with friends or coworkers.
Is a way to occupy your life so stay away from drugs and prostitution.
I think it's so popular because it adds interest into an already exciting game, the game of football. I think America loves football.
NFL is the biggest sport in America, so people that don't have lives want to get into that.
The NFL is number one. That's a number one, and also the sitting on your couch and having your computer, and nerds really love fantasy football for sure because they can be like sporty and really be on the computer checking like a million things at once.
How do I pick my team?
It's good to figure out how the draft works before, like the actual software. If you don't know that, then you end up with Steve Slayton.
Let's go. Touchdown. Ronnie Brown.
Oh my!
Well, I use the strategy of picking my own team's players, the Dallas Cowboy players, because therefore I could root for the Cowboys.
For me, it was mostly I wanted to pick players that I know well and like, that are my favorites.
Same for me. I took Brady in the first round because he's my favorite player. So, even though he wasn't probably the highest pick I could have took, I was third in the draft, but I took him anyways because I liked him.
I have one rule and one rule only. I do not pick anybody from the Chicago Bears. That's my team, and every time I pick somebody from the Bears, they end up either going out for the season with an injury or just really, really playing poorly. So I stay away from anybody on my favorite team.
Well, when they had told me about fantasy football, I was like, yeah, I was all excited about it. But then I realized it was American football, and I don't have a favorite team.
I have been burned on my own team, so I try to stay away from my teams.
Listen, I don't know what I'm doing out there. I really don't.
This year going into the draft, I did a little bit of research. I got a couple of like Sports Illustrated, just kind of read through like their fantasy picks. Listened to a couple things on ESPN.
The main thing I was thinking about when I was picking my team was when I could go back to sleep and finish this fucking draft.
There's a big emphasis put on running backs.
Running back, quarterback, receiver, running back.
I basically just, at first I let the computer pick my players for me, and then I just picked whoever came to my mind. I didn't put any thought into it.
Very competitive, so I'm constantly monitoring the free agent list and my own players, and of course watching the games. I'm pretty avidly involved.
But I'm always looking for free agency. If somebody drops somebody, I'm going to add them. I'm definitely checking every day.
Not so much for me.
Well, I'm 0-3, so I do monitor it. And actually, I might win this week by not trading or doing anything.
Basically every day I'm kind of sucked into it. I have this new iPhone app, so when I can't sleep at night, I just look at my fantasy football team.
It definitely keeps me busy at work when I'm not working. Yeah. This isn't going to be shown at work, right?
What's my typical Sunday like?
Drinking, watching football, gambling, depending on whether or not I'm still up from the night before.
Wake up, go to church usually.
Sitting on the couch, drinking beers and watching the game.
spend most of the day watching the games.
I'd say the same, except drinking whiskey.
Wake up late, throw on some English soccer.
Watch the end of the first game, the 10 o'clock game, and then get ready for the 1 p.m. game.
7.6 games.
Look at how we take it
You
down.
do a lot of flipping around.
You head down to like a restaurant or a bar somewhere and watch my Bears.
It does have an impact on my marriage, yes. My wife is not a football fan.
Church in the morning and then go to a bar in the afternoon to watch football.
For the next couple months, that's gonna be my life.
This year it's a little different because we put some money down, $20, not that big of a deal.
You got a chance to win money.
Money definitely has a big part of it.
Well, there's the monetary factor. I could probably spend the money pretty easily, and the bragging rights are huge.
Yeah, it's all about bragging rights. I mean, that's the main thing. The money is secondary, I think. In this league, it's definitely secondary.
And there's $200, but really the bragging rights would be key.
Other participants in this league are people I work with.
I work with most of the guys, so that's obviously would be nice.
And there's a lot of embarrassing, chastising, and ridicule involved.
So I can go into work on Monday
Yeah, you can just hold your head up when you go into work and you get to see your friends.
and brag to others people that really care about football that I can beat them.
To beat him and him.
And to beat you behind the camera.
You're not going to beat me.
I'm not too worried about them. Half of them have never even watched football.
I'm pretty confident that I'm going to win this thing.
But usually you have a bunch of guys and then like the token female of the group who ends up somehow like making it to the playoffs just based on, the names of the players or the colors of the uniform. We don't really have that this year. I mean, I guess we kind of do with Chris. He's kind of like the token female.
I mean, look at these hands.